Now you'd think that we would have more faith in ourselves and our abilities when we got to a recall stage, but in fact, the opposite is most commonly true. We start to second guess ourselves and we don't trust the creative choices that we're making, even though they were the creative choices that we were making that impressed the panel enough to give us a recall in the first place. It's almost like the closer we get to getting what we want, the job or the place at drama school, the less we feel we're worthy of it or capable of actually achieving it. And so we self-sabotage. And this can come up in a number of different ways. So in this video, we are going to be unpacking all of these different ways so that you can go into your next recall audition with a bit more awareness and hopefully a little bit more confidence. And also a little note to say that I have a recall preparation workshop coming up, and we're going to spend 2 hours on Zoom going over your audition material and honing that interview technique. If this is something that you're interested in, then all of the details are in the description box below. So let's do this. So the first thing that I always see in recall auditions is actors pushing. This is when an actor takes their creative choices and instead of them being natural and organic like they were in the first round, they really push and hammer them home. And this makes them very big and very obvious. This usually comes from not trusting yourself, but also not trusting the panel, not trusting that the panel will be able to see your choices or believe them. You convince yourself that the closer you get to booking the job or getting the place at drama school, the harder you have to try. But believe me, that is not the case. Trust that the creative choices that you were making in the first round were good enough to get you to the recall round. The panel liked it. You're clearly doing something right, so you gotta trust that what you're doing will read. And if the panel give you notes or redirection, it's not that your original is wrong, because let's face it, there is no such thing as wrong in a subjective medium. It's just that they want to see how you work creatively, how flexible and adaptable you are to that redirection. It's no pressure and no big deal. I also see a lot of actors playing it safe in recall rounds. Now the thought process for this is kind of like when you're trying to stroke a cat on the street. Go with me on this. You get closer and closer to the cat, but you know that if you make any sudden movements or if you change things really, really drastically, then the cat will run away and you won't get the thing that you want, which is to stroke the cat. Sad times. And I see this in auditions. The actor is so scared of getting something wrong and blowing the whole thing when they can see the finish line in sight that they choose to just not do anything at all, muting and dulling their performance and even how they bring themselves into the room. We've got to get out of this mindset of second guessing ourselves and second guessing the panel. It is mental energy that is best spent actually executing the thing that you are there to do, honoring the text, playing the note to the fullest extent, and connecting with your audition panel. The whole second guessing, playing it safe strategy is going to do you no favors. And finally, not preparing for your recall. Now, do you ever have so many tasks that you need to get done? You've got emails and laundry and people that you need to get back to and work that needs to get done and errands to run and a whole host of other things that you become so overwhelmed by the magnitude of the tasks at hand that you end up doing absolutely nothing. That is what self-sabotage looks like. Switching off instead of switching on to get the thing that you actually want. Now believe me, I have been guilty of this myself in the past. I get an audition through from my agent and instead of actually putting the work in, I just don't bother preparing anything. And then I end up going into the audition underprepared, no idea what I'm doing, and then I end up blowing it. We do this because rejecting ourselves is easier and less painful than trying really hard, putting our all into it, and getting rejected by the audition panel. Because at least you can control your own rejection. You can anticipate it, which makes it less painful. But the thing is, we're not going to get anywhere unless we actually invest. No one is going to come along and just hand you a place at drama school. No one's going to come along and just give you an acting job. You need to work for it, which sadly includes rejection along the way. It's painful, yes, but in the long run, not trying, not reaching, not investing, that is going to be more and more painful because you are going to be living in regret. Because if you shy away from rejection, you're not actually going to be achieving anything of worth. So get prepping and take the rejection if it comes. But have faith in yourself and your ability that eventually you're going to get a yes. And who knows, you might be getting a yes sooner than you think. So for your next audition, be aware and mindful of these 3 pitfalls so that you can approach the whole thing with a little bit more confidence. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you've got an audition coming up, pop it in the comments below so that we can all give you a massive thumbs up and a big good luck. But until next time, bye!